Today I saw a video on YouTube about timeline shifts and everything, and a part of me was asking myself, oh, on what timeline do I exist in, right? It's like 3D versus 5D shift. And then I I come back to remind myself the timeline you're on, what I imagine as the 5D timeline, 5D consciousness, is not about asking anyone else for the permission to exist in that consciousness. Is not about looking for evidence outside of you that, oh, I am in the new timeline, blah blah blah. Okay, let me explain it like this. There's like a 3D and a 5D consciousness shift, where 3D is the low vibration and dense energy, and 5D is higher vibration, better, whatever it means. And I feel like it's not about asking anyone for the confirmation, or looking outside of yourself for the evidence that you've shifted into the 5D timeline, but rather coming back home to yourself and giving yourself the permission to exist as your highest self in each and every moment. It is, I feel like 5D consciousness, whatever it is abundance, right? And it is, I feel like it is a very intimate, very dynamic, very ongoing experience, where it's a choice that is given to you in your life very personally. It's a choice given to you in each and every given moment. It's a moment by moment by moment thing, where in each and every moment you get to choose to show up as your highest self or not, where in each and every given moment you get to choose whether you will trust or you will worry. I feel like 5D consciousness, and this is not to say or even to insinuate that I know anything about anything, really. I'm just trying to express what it is I feel, because I feel like I was in a position of wanting something or someone outside of me to confirm to me that I am experiencing or existing in my highest timeline. And it's not about, if you're in 5D consciousness, this is what you're experiencing, this is who you are, this is what it is about. I feel like it's very in the moment, and it's something very continual. You continue every single day to choose your highest and your best self, and it is a choice that you are given very personally in your life. You know what situations you're going through, you know what your day feels like. Today is very different from what yesterday was, and in this moment right now, I'm living a very different life from anyone else in the planet. And I understand that everyone else, wherever they are, have a very different experience, a very personal experience, as similar as it could be. Everyone has a very personal experience, and you understand who you are, you understand what you are experiencing in life, and each and every moment in your life you are given the choice whether you choose to come from a place of openness or from a place of fear. I feel like 5D consciousness is not about anything you're doing, really. It's not about doing, but just I feel some type of way talking about this, because what do I know about it? What do I even really know? Not a thing. Not a thing. I'm just here living my life and trying my best, and really choosing in each and every moment to show up as my highest self, whatever that means. And let me stress, it's a very in the moment thing. In the moment, in each and every given moment, in this moment, what thoughts are you choosing to entertain? Who are you? How are you choosing to show up in each and every given moment? your intentions. It's everything about who you are. It's everything about who you are, and nothing and no one outside of you is going to tell you who you are or like what consciousness you're vibrating on. It's up to you to know yourself, and it's up to you to choose how you're choosing to show up in each and every moment. It is up to you. You are the only person who has this intricate experience of your life, and I feel like you're the only person who can give yourself that answer. You're the only person who can really give yourself the true answer to the questions you're asking. You gotta go deep within yourself and understand that. And this is another thing I saw on YouTube. You cannot hustle your way into abundance. You cannot force it. You cannot. It's about accepting who you are and where you are and loving that. And that is the shift. It's not about doing anything or wanting to prove anything to yourself or to anyone. It's choosing to be your highest and your best self in the moment and embodying your highest timeline. Let me ask you a question. If this was the timeline where everything you've been prepared for, everything you've been praying for, this here now is what it is, even if it doesn't look like what you pictured it, how would you move if this is that time you were waiting for to have that connection with your highest self? Is if you know how, let me just speak from my own experience. I was like praying or asking for guidance from my highest self and choosing to show up as my highest self. So if this is that timeline where you are your highest self and you are connected with your highest self so intimately that there is no longer no separation. You are your highest self, deeply connected with your highest self. You are one with the divine. This is your highest, most fruitful timeline. Whether you believe it or not, right? You just have to trust it. It's crazy how, for me, I now understand I had been putting it off to a future, putting off being my highest self to when I've done this and this and this, like waiting for things that are outside of me to determine for me what my highest self looks like. I lost my train of thought. But if you were told this is that timeline where you are your highest self, you are your highest self, this is your most fruitful timeline, this is when everything is meant to work out for you, like everything is meant to work out for you and for your highest good, how would you show up? Would you trust when things seem to be falling apart? Would you choose to not wait for anything or anyone outside of you to tell you who you are? How would you move? Because this here now is that place. This is your highest timeline. This is you in your highest. This is you in your highest. This is you as your highest self, really. So trust that. Begin by trusting that. Again and again and again and again. If I doubt that today, guess what? In the next few moments, something is going to remind me to trust. And I'll trust again and again and again and again and again. and show up as my highest self in each and every given moment. And that is how I see it. That is how I'm interacting with everyone talking about a timeline shift, really. It's just about trusting. I feel like this timeline shift something is very, very essential, very fundamental. And it can't even be described in words, because everything I have said up until this point might just be null and void for whatever it's worth. I don't think this is something that can be explained. I don't even think it's something that is meant to be like looked into and figured out. And I don't know. I don't really know, you know? But if I can say anything, is that no one is going to give you the permission, or no one and nothing is going to prove to you that you've shifted into something beautiful. You just have to know that you're right where you're meant to be and trust. Yeah.